This might turn out to be a bit of a weird video because I kind of want to postulate something that's, probably going to be weird within itself and, thus weird in a larger context. But I remember like a month ago, I suggested that somebody start this CNN-esque type of network where it's fake news and it's just constant lies, basically, just lies upon lies upon lies about the news, about what's going on in the world. But while there might be a disclaimer, the truth is that everything on that network tries to be as realistic as possible. So as realistic as possible in the sense that they're on location sometimes. And I don't know how they pull it off. I mean, usually if there's some sort of crises or disaster or something like that, they would have video evidence. So in that case, they would have to kind of like bring in props maybe a little bit, or actors and things like that, extras, etc., etc. And but while this will never happen, I think it's illegal actually to go out in public and say things that aren't happening, especially when it comes to public threats and violence and things like that. You just can't go on YouTube and just start making accusations about accusations or claims that something violent is happening in a certain area of the city, blah blah blah, without I guess without some sort of prior disclaimer saying like this is not real. So there's an illegality there. I guess you're some sort of you yourself become some sort of public threat if you're lying about you know violent or disastrous or criminal activity where there is none. It's you're scaring the public somehow. But anyway, that aside, it would be interesting to see um, how quickly that fake news network would actually become truth. Um, I have a background in new media, so and even before the advent of new media, whatever that means, there was basically that painting, and I used to know the name of the artist, but hey, don't know anymore. But it was basically that painting of that pipe that basically said, "This is not a pipe." Um, so with that in mind, I think, and combined with my new media training, especially since media has become very immersive and very realistic in a lot of contexts where realism is not really the goal. Realism in the sense of being true to reality is not the goal. It's all about an immersive environment where things are not true, but have that have that veneer of basically reality, VR, and things like that. And they straddle the lines between what is true and what isn't, and et cetera, et cetera. And immersive experiences these days can be very emotionally compelling, and very you can really get tricked into certain things. But there's still, like I said, it straddles that line at this point. Maybe with the advent of fake news, et cetera, we're talking about a different type of VR. But interestingly, it'd be like, at what point in self-referentiality do lies become true? You kind of, I have this inkling that the fake news network, for lack of a better term, would actually start referring to, and it's almost a very innate thing that happens with language, right? Like, I mean, at what point does a whole bunch of lies become self-referential to the point where the lie is the truth? I think you know what I'm saying. I don't think I'm being too abstract here. I mean, you start talking about talking, right? You start talking about things that were said, things that were not said, and those things can be true, even though they're referring to things that were not said and were said, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we abstract things, and that's what language is. It's a huge abstraction. You think about things, even like, say, mathematics, for instance. I mean, it's a huge, and mathematics is apparently as real can get, but it's still abstracted. I mean, show me two, like, you can't show me two of anything. Like, well, you can show me two of something, and you can show me the symbol that represents two, but you can't show me two. Um, so this whole abstraction, the lies just start referring to lies and start becoming the truth almost. So it'd be interesting to see how quickly the fake news network, and maybe this is kind of looking too deeply into it, but it would be interesting to see how quick the fake news network will become, like just based on complete lies. And it would be interesting to see how producers would maintain the legitimacy and the validity and the integrity of lying, basically, and how quickly that gets corrupted and corroded when it comes to lies referring to other lies or facts about lies, things like that. Um, anyway, so just a little video about that. I don't really have much else to say. I am hot, hot, hot. Um, Toronto has really seen summer come in with a bang. We already had our first heat event of the season, and it was pretty damn hot. I think. Oh yeah, see that sweat? That is heat sweat. That is not exercising sweat. That is heat sweat. Um, yeah, so I feel all gross right now, but I'm having one of these. So, well, not one, but um, it'll do. Maybe this is what's making me hot right now. I don't know, but anyway, that's my that's my video about lies and things like that. Um, yeah, I don't really have much else important to say. Yeah, I don't think this video is too weird. I think for the artistically minded, I think it would make a lot of sense. And it's definitely an idea that could be explored. And maybe there's even channels like that. There's this sunset channel on people that have extra cable features and stuff. Sunsets just continually showing sunsets. I mean, how do we even know those things are live? I mean, we don't know, right? They could say so. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, that's my video. Bye.